Hey y'all, if you're new here, I'm Shayna. I'm reviewing The Family or Fiancé Season 3, Episode 4 with Jackie and Zuri. I think this episode wasn't all that exciting, but they did touch on some important things that we can definitely touch on. I think a lot of people can relate to it. So let's go ahead and get into it. Before we do, if you like this type of content, definitely hit the subscribe, help a sister out. It's free of charge. And I'm trying to grow my channel. I'm almost to 100 subscribers. I'm a baby YouTuber, so definitely help me get there. My goal is to get to the 1,000 and the next 1,000 and the next 1,000. So I'm going to keep pushing out content for y'all, but I need y'all to subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. But let's go ahead and get into it. So they start off with a home cam. That's new. I've never seen that on Family or Fiancé before. They're showing not only the couple, but the families in their home cam, showing what their thoughts are and what they have to say. Normally they just start right off with them driving up to the house, but that was interesting to see. Jackie and Zuri met on a dating app. I believe they may have been together for 6 years or so. They didn't confirm in the beginning. But the ladies get to the house. They meet Tracy. Same old, same old. They look around. They say it's a lot different from New York, where they live currently, like the New York, New Jersey area. And they have their first session with Tracy. They have an issue. The main issue here is with Jackie's sister-in-law and their living situation. They're living in Jackie's sister-in-law's old apartment. She was supposed to turn the lease over to them. She never did, and they feel like she's just controlling them, and they have a roommate, and then the sister is a flight attendant. So sometimes the sister-in-law, when she's in the area, will stop there and stay there. She probably feels like she's welcome because she's your sister-in-law. But we don't know all the ins and outs. We're definitely going to go and get further into it. So for Zuri's family, we have her mother, her sister, her best friend are coming. Jackie's mother, brother, and sister-in-law are coming. So Zuri's mother gets to the house and she just storms right in. They were like, I think you're supposed to ring the doorbell. And she just opens the door and just walks on in. That was also a first because I've never seen any family just walk in. They normally knock on the door and wait for their loved one to greet them. So that was different. So I'm like, okay, Zuri's mom seemed like she straightforward and she speak her mind and she gonna get into it. Jackie's family arrives and the family sit down. They discuss their concerns. The main concern that everyone has is about the couple's finances, and a lot of them are feeling like the couple just isn't really ready. Zuri's mom flat out said, "I don't think y'all are ready." So, but Zuri's mom also mentioned their living situation, saying they need to get that together. Ashley felt blindsided that she had to hear that there was an issue with the situation from Carolyn, Zuri's mom. So Ashley confronts Jackie and she said, Jackie should have told her if there was an issue. Why didn't she feel, comfortable coming and saying something? But Jackie was saying she didn't feel comfortable because before that, her and her brother were living together. When her brother got with Ashley, the sister-in-law, they gave her like 30 days to get out. They were moving to Miami and they told her she had 30 days to figure it out and find somewhere to go. And since she felt like she was being put out previously, no, I'm not going to feel comfortable coming to you now with any living issues, especially when I'm still living technically in your apartment. So the ladies go with each other's family to answer questions and do the games like they normally do, but they're just doing some Q&A like they do in every episode. So on both sides, it seems like the families are concerned that they don't have any set financial plans, and that's an issue. And they also discuss Jackie and Ashley just not seeing eye to eye, like it's a problem. So at dinner, the families are eating and they discuss, how the day went with the questions and the Q&A session. Zuri had mentioned to Jackie's family that they were thinking about moving to Mexico, but it's just up in the air. Right now they just need to get their finances in order, so they're not going anywhere for the moment. But Ashley asked valid questions. He said, have y'all looked at the cost of living? The grass isn't always greener over there. Did y'all look into like the jobs and everything and make sure everything was okay before you decide that's where you wanted to move? Did y'all even visit? before y'all just said y'all wanted to go to Mexico. Jackie starts getting defensive and was like, why are you asking all these questions? Like, isn't that what she's there for? Like, that's why you brought her there, right? Or maybe not. But maybe she just invited, since her brother was coming, she knew his wife was going to have to come. So Jackie gets defensive. She walks off. And Ashley tells everyone else that's back at the table that she's open to having a one-on-one. Jackie's the one with the issue, not her. So Jackie needs to come to her and tell her what the issue is. I think Jackie feels intimidated by Ashley, but I do agree she needs to stand up for herself and tell her what the problem is. So Jackie came back and she asked, who gave her the 30 days to get out? And Ashley said it was her brother. Her brother was the one that gave her the 30 days. He confirms that he was the one. But she still has an issue with Ashley. She's basically still blaming her for putting a wedge between her and her brother. And Jackie threw a fork at Ashley. And so she was like, I didn't mean to. Ashley, like, look, y'all can get out of the apartment. Like, no. And Ashley handled it a lot better than I would have because, girl, what you not about to do? I wouldn't still be sitting there. I know that. I would have to get up and walk away or something, but I would not be sitting there after you threw a fork at me. But that's just me. So the next day, Tracy meets with Jackie's brother before they even have their session. And he says he doesn't feel unsafe. He wants to continue moving forward with working on healing. And the couple meets with Tracy. They discuss, Jackie feeling abandoned by her brother because of Ashley and how that made her feel. Her brother did say that they moved, Jackie moved from Texas to New York with him, and then, they got there, it was fine. And then when he got with Ashley, basically she had to get out. So I can understand why she may have felt abandoned. They may also be feeling like, look, you're a big girl, it's time for you to kind of go out on your own. So Jackie meets with a trauma therapist, and Jackie tells the therapist that she was touched as a child. She was the M word. And she never told her mom because she wanted to protect her mom. She didn't want her mom to feel like it was her fault, even at a young age. She said it was like when she was 5 or 6. Even at that young age, she didn't want her mom to feel like it was her fault. They invite Jackie's mom to come in to the session, and Jackie's mom comes out and she tells her, and Jackie's mom breaks down, and she said she had a feeling, so she asked her I was asking, was everything okay? She mother's intuition, I guess she knew something was up, and she just took the blame, and she felt like it was her fault. Regardless of what they were saying, she felt like it was her fault. I was thinking, I wonder who, was it a family member? They didn't owe us that. They didn't have to share that. I'm just curious to know who was it, because Jackie said it was someone she trusted. So was it a family member or something like that? And, what were the dynamics? Because I feel like it also pushed her to get really close to her brother, who then later on made her feel abandoned as an adult. But, there's a lot to unpack here, and it's not going to happen in no 3 days on no TV show. So Jackie invited her brother into the therapy session. She didn't tell him what happened, but she said her past trauma affected their relationship. And he said that he's just going to continue to be there for her. So later, because Jackie realizes that she's kind of projecting and the issue that she has is within, and she kind of took it out on Ashley. So she decides to pull Ashley to the side. We kind of figured that would happen. And she apologized for throwing the fork at her, as she should. Because she took it a little far there, but I'm glad it didn't escalate, and I'm glad Ashley, was able to understand that, obviously there's a deeper issue here. So Jackie shares that she has been, touched, and Ashley said that she expressed to Jackie a while back that she was in a similar situation, and she just didn't quite understand why Jackie didn't feel comfortable sharing her, because she shared this with her before. And I was thinking, even if Jackie didn't feel comfortable sharing with her, I felt like that would, show more, I would feel like I would have more of an understanding, maybe more compassion. I would have thought, since Ashley shared it initially, that could have possibly helped their relationship. But when you feel like, sometimes when people get into relationships and they kind of put everybody else to the wayside to focus on their new relationship, that's just a hard pill to swallow. So I think it took her time to just have to get over that. But Jackie said she never told anyone besides Zuri until today. So it was not easy for her to share that, even though as she had been in a similar situation, it wasn't easy for her to share because she had been burying that since she was a child. And, this trauma, people have to understand, like, oh, it was so long ago. Oh, it's in the past. Okay, but if you don't talk about it and begin to heal, you have to heal by talking. Ashley told her, like, the only way you can heal is by talking about it. I agree, whether it's to a therapist, someone you trust, however you choose to do it, you have to do it, because if you just bury it and act like it doesn't happen, it affects your relationships and how you go through life. In my opinion, I'm no psychiatrist. That's just my thoughts. So Ashley accepts her apology and they hug it out. And they have their final therapy session with Tracy, and they're going to get the blessings. I feel like even before they get, because typically the families give their blessings, they didn't. This was a Jackie heavy episode and leaned more on one person in the couple instead of the couple. So I'm glad that she got her issues with her sister-in-law out, but we didn't hardly touch on the financial issues and what their game plan was really at all. Like, we barely just glazed over it. Like, it was not really addressed, and we spent a lot of time on Jackie, and I don't know what's going on with Zuri. What's going on with the liver situation? Like, why are y'all struggling financially? What's up? Speak on it. We didn't talk about it hardly at all. So, I think that they still have some work to do, but that was my thinking. So everyone gives their blessings aside from Zuri's sister for that reason, the financial reason. Everybody said, we didn't really touch on that, but we'll give you our blessing. Zuri's sister said, because we didn't touch on the finances, I think y'all still have work to do before I can give you my blessing. So the follow-up was that they're still engaged. They're still working on healing. They're hoping to get married and buy a home in 2 years. And the relationship with Ashley and Jackie and Zuri went sour. So Ashley and Jackie, they no longer speak. Jackie's not speaking to her sister-in-law. It just, I don't know what happened, but it got sour. And so the hugging it out didn't quite work. I really hope that Jackie and Ashley, because it seems like they have some things in common. They might have more in common than they even know if they begin to talk to one another. And I hope that they can eventually work on their relationship to move past this, because that is her sister-in-law. Like, that's your brother's wife. You don't have to like her or anything like that, but at least you want to be cordial. If they have kids, you want to come over. It causes strain and strife on everyone in the family, because, okay, well, we're inviting Jackie and Zuri over so that we can have Ashley and Justin. You know what I'm saying? So just for the sake of everyone and themselves, I hope that they can get through this and get back on a good page and one accord. But that was all I had for Family or Fiancé. Let me know, are you guys watching? Let me know what you think. I'm hoping later in the season it gets a little spicy. It's, as the seasons go on, it's never as good as like the first initial season. But I'm hoping that they start to bring it and we get not fake drama, but just some real life relatable stuff. Let me know down in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.